COVID-19. Okay, it's now for discussion time. I may raise a question to Dr. Shi. Firstly, you mentioned in the paper that Australia and China had been, in trouble or something like a trade war. Also, that is not only the COVID-19 but also political issues influenced. Those are influencing the two countries' economic and trade relations. So my question is that how do you think the Australian side or China side should take some measures to secure the global supply chains in the future, especially in the sector of energy issues? Yes, please.
Thanks, Professor. Yeah, it's become, I will only comment the economics issue. I think that because the complementary trade structure is of the benefit of both countries to working together. Primarily in the energy sector, if you look at coal and LNG, China is now the largest buyer of Australia coal and LNG. Sometimes Japan is also there. Chinese buyer and the Japanese side more or less the same, but China definitely will be the largest buyer for coal energy, if not the largest already. It's very significant. Currently, for natural gas is quite stable because the unique long-term trade or contract structure. You only have to sign 20 to 25 years. The first bilateral contract or LNG will be only expire in 2031. There is another 11 years to go. And this contract is LNG contract is very rigid. There is a volume limitation, so you cannot reduce significantly. But coal now is in the big trouble because the yearly contract practice, and I heard it's probably quite significant, about 7 million tons of coal. Australia coal now is waiting to be clear at the customer. So that part is not promising, and even there is an overall benefit, but unfortunately, this trade speed now going to the energy sector in the case of coal. Yeah.
Okay, thank you much, Dr. Shi. Professor Manaki, can you exit from document sharing? Oh, yes, okay. So next, we have many questions to Professor Qi Shaozhou. And one question also raised by me, by myself, that China, it seems to me that is integrating its 8 pilot city into a national carbon market. It is very hard work to do. But my question is that what's China's plan to integrate China's carbon market with EU or other countries to have a global or worldwide carbon market? Especially the case of carbon pricing. The audience also raised questions. Do you think that China can control the ETS price, have something to competitive? And because if these kind of things happen, we will have a sky-high ETS price. So how do you think that China can do this carbon price and also the integration to the international carbon markets? So please.
Okay, thank you. Very interesting question. First of all, I think in terms of the link between China and the EU ETS and other global ETS, during the past years, in the ETS pillars in China, we start to discuss and dialogue with the other ETS, for example, the California ETS. Especially they invite us, including me, to discuss with them how to link between Hubei ETS and the California, because the two ETS is the state or provincial level regional ETS, so it is easier to link. And in terms of the national carbon market, during the past 3 years, China, Japan, and South Korea, in their exports level, we have a very normal mechanism to discuss and dialogue in terms of the link between these three countries' national ETS. And I think based on this experts dialogue and discuss more and more, many key policy factors we will to get some common ideas, and then which will help the government to design their policies in terms of the link between the three countries. And in terms of the EU ETS, at the very beginning of China start its ETS tariffs since 2012. When China announced will start its ETS tariffs, at that time, European Union launched a very big international project, which is about the EU ETS Reach Out project. They focus on China, India, and Russia in terms of their ETS building. At that time, European Union tried to help China to design their policy, following or model the EU ETS, which can be benefit for futures linkage between China and the EU ETS. Okay, so I think in future, China's carbon market must link with the other ETS, no matter in the regional level or national level. So this is the first question I answered. And the second is that in terms of the price control, China is very carefully in terms of its carbon price. Based on our 7 ETS tariffs, we design a lot of different price stable mechanisms. For example, in Hubei province, we design the ceiling price and the floor price and the price, flexible range. We try to make the price stable. And based on the stable price, we hope the price can increase step by step, which can match the carbon emission mitigation cost, especially the enterprises covered by the ETS mitigation cost. So I think that's why the natural carbon market developed so slowly during the past several years, because we are very carefully in terms of the carbon price. We pay a lot of attention to the price stable. Yeah, I think it's not too big problem. Yeah, we do a lot of jobs in this issues. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor Qi, for your very good answer. And also, Professor Qi is Dean of School of Low Carbon Economics at Hubei University of Economics. That is one sponsor of our today's panel discussion. So thank you very much. And next question goes to Professor Managi. You're in Japan. You know that Japan was not so active, to deal with the climate issues, not something ambitious target about climate change. But recently, the new Prime Minister Suga announced at Congress that Japan also will actively practice climate change policy and to realize the so-called carbon neutrality by the year 2050. So this is a question not relating to your paper, but anyway, many audience wants to know what is happening now in Japan. What can we know about Japan? So can you answer questions?
Sure. Thank you very much. What's matter for the private company or in general industry, thinking about the future generation is how the society can tackle the challenge, which is written in the SDGs. So one important fact that industry hasn't realized in the past was doing the carbon emission reduction was too costly for Japan. That's why they don't do that much. But now the economy are more toward the ESG, environment, society, governance, which is a company's version for SDGs. So this shows there are more business opportunity as well as challenge that the current generation should solve for the future generation. This makes a huge policy change to make the carbon zero emission to the 2050. So this is the reason that they try to do not just using the current technology, but more toward hydrogen, but not just hydrogen, more for the different type of alternative technology. So our university got the 10 years grant for the direct air captures, which is one part. But this future generation technology would be, I think, promising, and try to connect to the society would be more important. Thank you.
Thank you much, and Professor Maraki. And this is very interesting topic because Japan is leading the world about hydrogen energy. I'm also interested into that topic, so we can discuss later before. We have several questions posted in the board already, but I'm afraid we have no enough time. So I may stop my chair here and give a chair to Mrs. Sun Qian.